up to the official visitor center, which of the Stennis Space Center, which is Infinity Science Center, all the centers, all the spaces, but it is officially back open since its closure due to COVID-19. But maybe like me, you didn't even know that we had an official visitor center there at Stennis. So joining us today on Good Things to Fill Us In is Michelle Anderson of Infinity Science Center. Welcome, Michelle.
Hey, Rebecca. I'm so happy to be here with you all. How are you today?
I'm doing well. I keep wanting to put in space in behind Infinity Space Science Center, but there's no space there. But there's a lot of space. I had no idea about this 72,000 square foot facility that welcomes people in and teaches them about what's going on there at Stennis. So how do you just even start describing it? What is sort of your pitch to people when they're like, what is the Infinity Science Center?
Oh, wow. Well, around our building, we like to say it is the hidden jewel of the Gulf Coast. It's a wow facility. And if I may be even more personal, in 2017, I had to attend a meeting, a NASA event at Infinity. And mind you, I'm working for Mississippi Development Authority at that time. Well, I get there, and I'm thinking, oh, my God, this is such a cool facility. As I left the event and was walking to the parking lot, I said, I'd like to work here someday. And I laughed it off. Well, here I am, and I work here someday.
Oh, so. I love that. But I also love that little part that maybe you weren't completely aware that we had this gym on the Mississippi Gulf Coast that is open to family and visitors. I know it shut down December the 30th of 2020 thanks to the pandemic, but you guys are back up and running. So get us excited. What all is there if we're driving through?
Oh, wow. So, yes, it is exciting. For one, you see the huge, robust building. It is super cool, not shaped like anything else you would ever see anyway. So you'll see the super cool building, but what everybody loves is our booster. So you'll see our rocket, as they call it, from the interstate, you can see it. So just that alone gets you excited. And then when you walk through the doors, you're greeted by our awesome guest services team. All smiles. We like to play a lot, too, but all smiles and fun, but they know their stuff. So you'll see a tons of exhibits from, where do I start? The Earth Gallery. You'll see our sandbox. You'll see our hurricane prediction lab. We have an inundation station. So there are tons of hands-on exhibits and opportunities, for fun as well as science.
So when we're driving through, because I saw I read somewhere where someone ended up there by chance. I think a gentleman was traveling from Florida on vacation, and maybe he had some kids that needed to tinkle and get out some energy. And so they whooped in to see what was going on there at the Infinity Science Center. And he was like, wow, he didn't know that was there. So are we talking about a full day of adventures? Is it kind of a half day, a couple hours? What should people plan for?
So it really depends. So I'll give it to you like this. I am actually an English person, right? I know. English and history are my things. So for me, I could literally spend at least half a day there and find a whole lot of fun things to do and learn a lot. Now, for your science gurus, yeah, you could spend the whole day. They could literally be there the whole entire day that, our time frame of being open. So it just depends on who you are, but you're going to spend a couple hours because you're going to be wild just that much. So,
and when we're traveling down, I know this gentleman was coming back from Florida, but if we're headed to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, I know you mentioned the big rocket there, but where are you sort of located on the interstate, or how can we sort of figure out where to pull over and pop in?
Sure. We're not far at all from the Mississippi rest. It's a rest stop right there, or Mississippi Welcome Center as well. But we're closer to Slidell, and I guess that's where people get confused. We're actually in Pearlington, Mississippi, sure, but it's closer to Slidell. So we're really literally like your last stop on your way out of Mississippi, and hey, welcome you into Louisiana, if you will. But a few miles outside of Slidell is where we're located.
Michelle,
off of 90.
I am just so disappointed that I didn't know about this. And I feel like that is the collective, sigh across the Good Things listeners right now, is because so many of us are gearing up and maybe heading to the beach or going into New Orleans or, just traveling back and forth or just trying to plan our trip to the Mississippi Gulf Coast this summer and looking for those fun stops along the way. And it feels like, this needs to be a must-see destination for kids of all ages and adults.
There you go. And hey, you have summed it up well. If you don't mind, we can put you on payroll and marketing for us too. But that was well put. And please don't feel bad though, Rebecca. A lot of people, unfortunately, did not know or do not know where we're located or that we're even there. And one of my biggest, tasks, if you will, upon my coming to Infinity was literally grassroots recruiting. I'm big on that. So I don't mind literally stopping night or day and dropping off, rat cards or flyers or brochures. And that's what we've been doing. So you may find our brochure for us in a gymnastics facility or in Century Hall in Bay St. Louis or Popcorn Plus, because we're actually partnering with them even now to kind of be like a satellite location, if you will, for them. So don't feel bad. A lot of people did not know we're there, but we're planning on changing that. So.
You're planning on changing that. And two, I know you welcome a lot of children. I think I read where you help educate K through 12 students across 5 states since the first opening in 2012. So tell us about maybe the camps or how students are getting connected with the Infinity Science Center.
Sure thing. You said it best. We educate kids K-12, but we also, you ready? We educate teachers. We offer professional development, and I'm still a licensed teacher as well as our education manager, our educators. So we have a team of educators who will actually educate the kids and the teachers. However, we have several STEM camps coming up, and I'm proud to say they're almost all filled. First one will kick off next week, June 14th through 18th. It is filled to capacity. Also, until 2 more consecutive weeks after that. Our third week the second week in July, I believe. That is the one where we may have about 5 slots left. But of course, all this good information is on our website. Any other details there are listed there. And we also have our education manager, Miss Donna Torres, who's amazing and working right now tirelessly for these camps.
Which I know is a big deal, but I can't imagine. That would have been like my top 5 options for camp as a kid. I would absolutely have loved to come and done something there at the Infinity Space Center and be that close to NASA. Of course, I'm a space nerd. They know that here on Good Things. So I would be the one that would be there from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. reading all the things, taking all of the different opportunities to do the hands-on activities. Now, you guys are only open, though, Thursday through Sunday, correct?
We are. We're only open Thursday through Sunday, and we did want to, play it safe, if you will. We knew the vaccine was coming up, and this is back in January while we were planning. But we knew the vaccine, was coming up, and more people would be allowed to take it. But, we just didn't know how much the world would open up, how much traveling would take place. But we have been pleasantly surprised thus far. So there is a chance that we will add a day or 2, but we did want to play it safe and just kind of be sure we were ready and could sustain ourselves. So right now, yes, Thursday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Well, those are all your...
That later. I'm sorry, go ahead, Rebecca.
No, I was going to say, those are all your max travel days anyway. People are leaving on a Thursday, coming back on a Sunday or in between. So you got it covered there, Michelle. So if you had to pick one thing out of that 72,000 square feet of NASA awesomeness that's maybe Michelle's favorite, what would you tell people they had to come and see?
Oh, wow. So we just got 2 new 3D movies, and I'm a movie girl. And so I would really say, hey, you got to come check out a movie, if nothing else. And, of course, you got to walk around the booster. It would be great if you can get a tour of it, but just to get up close and personal to the booster. So I know you said one thing, but I prefer those 2
That's
things.
Okay, but when you say booster, what does that mean to those of us who aren't science nerds?
Oh, sure. It's the rocket that everyone, typically sees from the interstate that draws everybody's attention. So, yeah, that would be a piece of our Apollo 13 rocket, if you will. But that's our booster, and everybody, is drawn to it. And that's typically how we get some of our guests. They'll see it from I-10, and they drive in, and then they're wowed by everything else we have. So, yeah.
I've seen it, and I've been wowed by it, but dang it, I didn't know there was anything else back there.
and most people didn't know that. So, hey, you've got to come see us.
We do. We have to come see you, and I want everyone listening to Good Things as well as to put the Infinity Science Center on their to-do list as they're traveling I-10 this summer, or just make a special trip to go if you're within, driving distance. Remind us the website, though, Michelle, where we can go and get all the information that's going on there and stay connected.
Sure, yeah. Of course, most people just Google Infinity Science Center, but we are at visitinfinity.com.
Visit Infinity.com. It is the official
thing.
visitor center for the Stennis Space Center of NASA, which you probably will never get on campus there, or at least less likely. So go to the visitor center there at Infinity and see all the good things that they have to offer. Michelle, this was a pleasure. Thank you so much. You're always welcome back on Good Things when y'all have a special event.
Sure. Thank you, Rebecca. I appreciate you so much.
All right, y'all stick with us. We've got more for you.